Holy shit. Holy shit, that's good. Today we are going to be making sourdough from scratch. We're going to be doing 3 different loaves. So we're going to be playing with some different mix-ins.
I have jumped into the sourdough world. I've tried a couple times, probably like everybody out there. I have failed. I have killed my starters like a couple times. And now I've been like, okay, how do I get into this? How do I understand this more? And how do I make it simple? That's what sourdough is so intimidating, because it's not simple out there. So let's explain it in as basic terms as we can so that we can wrap our brains around it and we could try it and just experiment with it and have fun.
We're technically starting from the day 2 of the process. MJ's been feeding the starter and making the levain and doing all the things. We're going to start at the process of actually like starting the stretch and fold and making the dough. And we're going to experiment with flavors, and then we'll go from there, see how it goes.
First thing we're going to do, we're going to take the covers off of this. So go ahead and take the covers, reveal your levain, check out how it's grown overnight.
Look at that. She's gorgeous.
Our starter has grown into something that we can now try to make dough out of. It's better to measure with weight instead of trying to do it out of a cup, because we pack it into a cup wrong or we do different measurements. We always try to weigh it and kind of go off of that. So we're going to take 125 grams of water. So it's set to grams. We're going to do 125. It's okay if you go a little bit over. So here's what we got to 130. Okay, so here's what I've learned about sourdough. It is so forgiving. Like it doesn't matter. If you go a little bit over, a little bit not, it's okay.
You did this whole spiel of you have to measure it, get the weight.
Yes,
and then,
yes. I mean, but it's not. It's, forgiving. Okay, and we like to do this before. So we break the water up to technically it's 350, but we're gonna break it up into 2 steps.
Okay.
So step 1, we do it, we mix it in. We kind of get it incorporated here.
Okay, so we did 130.
So we could do 120, right? Okay. If you want to be really precise. But once again, it's pretty forgiving. Same thing, we're going to stir that, incorporate it in. Just make sure it's all like in there. So now we're going to go 350 grams of bread flour. Okay. So we're going to take our spoon and we're just going to scoop it in. Just 1 scoop at a time, 350. And once again, if we go over by 10, if we go under by 5, it's not the end of the world.
351.
351, perfect. Okay, now we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna start to mix it, and it's gonna start to make it look like a stringy dough.
Okay.
But we're gonna try to incorporate it all. So you're gonna mix it really, really, really well here.
This is a flimsily-whimsily guy, I'm just saying. Look at this.
Oh, it definitely is. That's okay, we're gonna get in with our fingers after this. So we're just kind of playing with it here, getting it all incorporated, making sure there's not a bunch of like clumps of flour. That's really what we don't want at this point, is those floury clumps. We just want to incorporate it all really well.
It's definitely very stringy.
And that's the end of this step. So you can go ahead and take the spoon out, put the cover back on.
Yeah, they're like little shower caps for bowls. That's what it looks like.
Now we're going to set this aside. You're going to set a timer for an hour, and we'll come back to this in 1 hour.
Perfect.
So let's talk about what we're going to put into the different loaves. Yes. So we're going to do cheddar jalapeno. This is an English white cheddar, straight from England.
Straight from England.
It is absolutely delicious. It's like
so
super crumbly.
We just tried it off camera, and we all were just...
And then we're doing like roasted garlic, which I don't know that any of us have ever roasted garlic.
I have roasted garlic.
Oh. Tyler's roasted.
I've roasted garlic.
Well, you're going to be a residential expert for roasted garlic.
You put olive oil on it and then you roast it. You don't do anything.
Okay. Perfect.
Yeah.
I don't know
when you're like cheese.
I love cheese.
The only thing is you don't want it like all cheese, right? We don't want the cheese to overwhelm the dough, but
yeah, right. Yeah, I was trying to figure out like, how big does the dough? Is it like a big loaf? Like fill up the whole Dutch oven?
I mean, yeah, it's going to be the whole bottom. It'll be a good circle. So
yeah, then I think that works.
Does it affect like the bake of the bread at all?
A little bit.
Putting in mix-ins?
Yeah, I think every time you do a mix-in, there's different approaches. Some people do it on like fold 3 or fold 4. I like to wait. So far, because I'm dipping my toe in the mix-ins, I like to wait till. Fine.
We are listening.
I like to wait till the very last fold. Like I want to get it in at the very end so that my dough has, because a lot of the mix-ins, like cinnamon, if you put cinnamon in, it will stop the rising process for your dough.
Yeah, yes, things will interact with the yeast and whatnot.
Yeah. So I think it's better to throw them in towards the end. I know.
She large. Oh!
That one exploded.
Chuck them across the house.
I've never had one explode before.
I like it.
Getting aggressive over here.
See, that's what it's supposed to do. It's just so the little cloves will have a woody end, and I will cut that off.
Okay.
And then all of the outer shell will come off really easily with it, and then you roast it. So you don't want any of this dry, papery stuff.
So we have
to clean all of the cloves up. Yes.
Deshell them.
So what I would do is I would just take a little knife and just slice it off the end and then peel the rest of it off.
We'll be
You
here
can
for
also
the
just
next
smash them. If you want to
6
go really
years.
fast, if you don't care what they look like, just smash
Should
them.
I get another bowl that we could put all the clean cloves in?
Let's put the clean.
Okay.
We're going to be here
Another
for
bowl.
a long time.
The cool thing about sourdough is we obviously have a ton of time in between stretch and folds. We got about
Yeah.
10 more minutes before our first one. Might as well just
Prep
work on
everything.
stuff, prep on stuff,
Yeah.
or go do something else. Like
Yeah.
it takes 5 minutes and then you can go, spend time with the kids or get some of the
Take a
dishes
nap.
done or take a nap or whatever you want, right?
I'm not spending time with the kids. I'm taking a
Yeah,
nap.
your mind with the kids, yours went to...
Yeah, mine went to sleeping, drinking wine.
Yeah.
The usual suspects.
Does sound
Like
nice.
more than
Yeah,
that?
that's great.
Okay.
Make sure it's all coated. That's plenty. So we're going to air fry our garlic cloves. And we want to keep the olive oil in there while we're roasting them. So I'm going to make a little boat. Usually boats keep out the water. This time it's keeping in the oil.
Keeping in the oil.
And that's it.
Oh, there's our timer for our first stretch and fold.
Hey.
How long do we roast these for, you
I'll
think?
have to ask Google that one.
Okay. We'll tell you later.
Yeah. Let's cut back to... Okay.
Hold on, here.
And then we stick them in the air fryer at 380 degrees for 15 to 20 minutes.
So during our first stretch and fold, we want to make sure that we're getting salt into the dough and that it's helping the process. I forgot the salt on one of mine and my dough did not turn out very well.
Okay.
So it's really important to add the salt. 1 1/4 is like recommended. I've got this little twisty top and I will kind of eyeball it because I'm used to
It's fine. Yeah.
estimating. We're going to take a look at our beautiful piece of dough there. Okay. So I have these little scrapers. They just help you pull it off the bottom. So I'm going to get some salt on this thing. My hands are clean right now. I'm gonna try to stick my fingers in and just poke some holes in so this salt has some room to like get down into that dough. And then I like to just salt between my folds so that it's evenly spread. I think what a lot of people do is they put it into a little bowl and they just dump it in there and then you get like these salt clumps. So you start eating it and it's like, oh, that's salty and that's not. And I like to mix it in. We're gonna take this, we're gonna kind of scrape it off the bottom because it's sticking to the bottom. In the bowl, we're gonna pull it away from ourselves, stretch it out, and then we're gonna fold it on top of itself. Rotate it. Now I'm gonna do the same thing here. I'm gonna stretch and fold.
Okay.
I'm gonna rotate it again. Big stretch, fold back on top. So I'm just kind of getting air into it, letting it grow. And then the 4th time, once again, I'm gonna get my scraper just because mine's pretty sticky here. I am going to stretch and fold back over on top. Okay. Finally, once I've done my 4 sides stretch and fold, I'm gonna take it from the bottom and I'm just gonna flip it upside down.
Okay.
And I'm good. I'm gonna set that aside and I'm gonna wait 30 more minutes.
Okay, our garlic is roasted. So
Dude,
we
it
were just
smells
talking
amazing.
about whether or not we should leave them whole or chop them up. We decided we're gonna chop them into like 4s. Now jalapenos.
Yeah, we were talking about this same way. Do you chop them up into little pieces? Do you slice them into rounds?
If you go in the rounds or the big pieces, like you were talking about, you take a bite of it and you don't necessarily taste it in all the bread, but then you get that chunk of garlic and you're like, it's so good there because it's so concentrated.
Yeah.
Or do you mince it up and you spread it out so that the flavor is in every single bite, but it's subtle?
I think we should do rounds.
Let's do it.
And let's do quarters of these.
And if
So
you
we're
guys
gonna
have
do
done this,
big pieces.
yeah, let us know what you've done and how
Yeah.
it tasted.
What you prefer.
Yeah.
There's 1,000 different ways to do it. It really doesn't matter as long as you have fun.
We're
So let's
doing
just do
roast.
10
So
minutes.
do 10 minutes
Yep.
or 12 minutes.
Now we
Ready
wait.
to go.
Gorge.
Our jalapenos just finished roasting. Oh, that's so good.
Ooh, those look
They
delicious.
smell amazing.
Nice and toasty.
Yes. Oh, those do smell good.
I will just take off the
Mm-hmm.
tip
Do it this way.
Beautiful.
and then I will kind of scrape back.
Peel this one.
So we're gonna do the same thing we did with the garlic, leave larger chunks.
So we got our jalapenos,
Woo.
our roasted garlic. That looks so good. And our English white cheddar cheese.
Yeah.
Okay, we ready to stretch and fold again?
Stretch and fold time. Just kind of scrape it off the bottom and fold. Rotate it. Pull it away from us. So I like holding on here. So I use both hands. Pull it away.
Oh, yeah.
And fold. Yep. You just get a little bit more stretch. A little bit more air in there.
Okay.
Pull it
Just
away.
do it a couple times.
And fold. And the fourth side. Pull it away. And fold. Then we take it off the bottom.
Flip her over.
Flip it over.
Oh my gosh.
Good to go.
It looks so good. I
And
love
you
this.
can see it starting to turn into like fun dough to play with.
Watch out, world. I'm about to become like a crazy sourdough bread lady.
So now is the fun time. Stretch and fold number 4
Okay.
of 5. This is where we get to
Take
incorporate
your top off.
our the items that we're going to fold into the dough. Similar to how we incorporated the salt.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm going to have you mix in your ingredients. We're just mixing it in. There's no science to it. You're just going to try to get it into the dough.
And we're gonna give her a stretchkey. Oh yeah, look at that.
Look at that.
Ooh. Give her some more garlic. This is a lot of garlic. The next stretch.
Oh yeah.
Fold in the garlic. If you want to save a couple to put on top at the end, we can do that.
Yeah,
this
that's a
too,
good
yeah.
idea,
Mhm.
actually.
But I would get most of it. Just get it all in there. Our fourth.
Look at that.
Oh,
That is
so good.
gorgeous.
All right.
Okay. Then we're gonna flip her over.
Save some for the next. Yes.
Little cheese, little jalapeno.
Get in
Yeah,
there.
push
Get
it
in
in
there.
Oh my God. I cannot wait to eat this.
Look at that pull.
Oh yeah.
So yummy. There's 2 different ways to do sourdough, right? We can do it like we're going to do it today where we're going to bake our sourdough today after the last stretch and fold, and we'll get into the process, but there is where you can put it in the fridge and then pull it out tomorrow. But since we're going to prep for it today and we're getting close after our stretch and folds, we're actually going to start the oven and get it preheating. We can put our little Dutch oven in the oven. Keep in mind, like when your oven says it's preheated to temperature, it means like the thermometer in that portion of the oven is. So a lot of people will recommend putting the Dutch oven in, letting it preheat, and then waiting an extra like 30 or 45 minutes for
Just get the whole
everything in
thing
the oven, including the inside of this thing, to really get to the same temperature.
Sounds great.
Oh, okay.
Before you start baking, so that it's a very even
bake, yeah.
bake.
Game time decision before we do our 5th fold.
Fifth
Yes.
fold.
Yeah.
We decided the 3rd loaf is going to be cinnamon sugar raisin. I'm not really into cinnamon or raisins, but
I'm kind of just
They'll
eyeballing
be into this
too.
loaf.
I might be into this loaf. I guess we'll see.
I love the smell of cinnamon. though,
Yeah.
all the time.
I'm liking cinnamon more and more. I've just never,
So you think?
it's not my thing.
So we're kind of combining this last step, so I'll explain how we do it here. But for this one, we're gonna kind of do the stretch and fold so we can get the cinnamons and raisins that are
Yes.
last minute,
Yeah.
gameplay. And then I'm gonna show you what we're gonna do on the counter to get the shape. Sprinkle in some cinnamon sugar all over. And fold. Normally you would set this aside and kind of let it raise, but I think the sugar is going to stop that anyway. So
Okay.
we're going to move on to the next step where we shape the dough to get it ready to bake. I'm going to flour my surface. Okay, this is just so it doesn't stick. Obviously this dough is really sticky, so we're going to spread it out here. We have these fancy bowls to do our shaping. I'm going to have you both use these ones.
Okay.
But if you don't have those bowls and the fancy cloth, you can just take a bowl and line it with paper towels, and you can do this out of there. So I'm just gonna lightly dust around the edges here. So once again, my dough is not gonna stick to the paper towel. I just have this paper towel that can, shape this in my bowl, and it's not sticking to it. So now I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna kind of stretch and fold, okay? But then I'm gonna kind of pull this back towards me and create some tension on it. So I'm gonna stretch and fold, and I'm gonna pull this dough. You're gonna feel the tension on the table as we pull this back.
Okay.
It's just gonna shape that ball shape. So then once again, I'm gonna fold this just so I get this really nice shape. So it's got the stretch and fold, so it doesn't look very pretty on the top right now. But I'm just gonna fold it in there. Now I have that rounded shape in there. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put this in the fridge because this dough is kind of warm. It's been rising, it's been doing its thing. So I'm gonna put it in the fridge for about an hour if I'm gonna bake it today. If I'm not gonna bake it today, I'm gonna put it in the fridge overnight, and then we can bake it anytime tomorrow. You can pull it out when you're ready or right before. It's very quick baking. But right now we're gonna have this one go in the fridge, and then
Do
let's
you cover
have you
it
both.
or anything, or just like that?
No, we'll just leave it just like this, and we'll just have it maintain that shape so it doesn't fall apart when we bake it.
Okay.
So
Stretch.
and fold.
Fold.
And then we're gonna put our hands on the back side. Yep, just like that. And you're gonna pull it towards you and feel that tension there without it slipping out from underneath. You're gonna feel that kind of rounding
then
tension.
fold it, or turn it.
Then turn it sideways. Yep. And then stretch it. Fold it. Okay. Same thing. Pull it towards you until you can get that like rounding shape.
Oops.
So we don't want any sticking out in the back. We want to really shape that roundedness. So you feel that tension on the bottom. You're gonna flip it upside down just like we do. So you got all the ugly folds on top, right? Yep. And just put it in like that. Then we're gonna put it in the fridge for an hour.
Because that's gonna end up being the bottom of the loaf.
Yep, that's the bottom of the loaf.
Okay. Okay.
Yep.
So
Our
cute.
garlic is done.
Awesome.
Stretching it.
Stretch and fold.
Tension.
Shape. Tension shape.
Oh, you're better at that than I was.
Beautiful. So
Okay,
we're gonna throw these in the fridge. We're gonna wait an hour, and then we're ready to bake.
Done.
This is our
This
last
is what
step
we're
before
doing.
baking.
Our last step before
We
baking.
made it.
We're here. This is the
Yes.
longest day, obviously.
Yeah.
The stretches, the folds, all of that takes
It's
time.
not that
We've
bad.
been here
it's-
for 4 hours.
Since
Yeah.
about
5 hours. 5 hours.
So when you're doing it at home and you're not recording videos on it, you can like do the little step and then go
switch
do
your laundry.
what life is.
Whatever.
Yeah.
And guess what? If it's not 30 minutes, let's say you leave it for an hour because you're busy with something, it's okay. Like sourdough is so forgiving. I have 2 Dutch ovens already preheated in the oven.
Yeah.
So we preheated them ready to go at 465. We waited a while for that oven to really get into everything. So it's really hot. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our flour, we're just gonna lightly powder our surface that we're gonna set this onto.
Okay.
If you don't have these fancy silicone mats, you can get just parchment paper, for the inside of your Dutch oven. We just don't want it to stick. So that's what we're doing. We're just kind of creating this
Just in the circle.
non-stick surface. I just kind of get a little everywhere, just
Yeah.
in case it gets anywhere. You probably want a little more in the middle. Yeah. So doing this is going to give it that like powder coat that you see when it comes out of the oven.
Oh.
The bottom that we folded all on top, right? It's kind of settled in here, as you can see. It should plop up with
One,
a nice
two,
one, two,
round
three.
shape.
Oh, I'm totally missed.
Okay, so just kind of hold that shape in. Obviously, we're doing it the same day. If you left it overnight, that shape is going to hold really, really
Even
well.
better.
Now, the final step before we put it in the oven is we need to score it. Why do we score
I don't know, but it makes it pretty.
the loaf? It does. It makes it really pretty. So you can get like really decorative and really pretty.
Doesn't
with
it
the
have
scoring.
something to do with how it rises as it cooks?
Yeah, so when it rises, that air that we've folded and trapped inside forever is going to want to pop out. The best way to do it is we score it to kind of give it the space to do it. Otherwise, it's going to blow out the sides and you're going to ruin your shape of your pretty sourdough. There's no wrong way to do it, I think. But we want to get it like anything
Even
light
deeper?
like that. Yeah, you want to go deeper. So we'll just keep going. I've noticed when I did this the first time, I went light and it just, none of the shape or anything lasted.
And then I was going to
so.
do like little these.
So you can go deeper on that one.
Okay, deeper.
Oh, you're making it really artisan fancy. I like it. And that center gash has got to be deeper. All the way on the side?
Yeah. I feel like I've seen this before, so
Okay.
I'm just we're gonna try
I'm going
it.
to go with it. Let's try it.
Because why not, right? If
Yeah.
it messes up, it messes up. And
We
we
had fun
learned.
doing it. Yep. Literally take like this and we're going to go
Plop it.
set it right in the oven and it's ready to go.
it does look a little flat.
Yeah, it's losing a little bit of shape just because we
cut-
have done our thing. Yeah. So we can obviously shape it a little bit before it goes in if we want. Oh, and you can powder over the top if you want that
can
little
I put
powdery.
some more
Yeah.
garlic on top?
Oh,
while
and
you do
yeah,
that,
yeah,
I'm gonna-
garnish it, make it pretty on top.
I'm just going to do the traditional.
Cross. So you want to go deeper?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yep. That's going to look beautiful.
There.
Get it deep though. Yeah, get it deep so it stays.
I feel like a
More
little cheese
jalapenos on the top.
because this cheese is
These look beautiful.
divine.
I'm so proud.
I am so excited to cook this.
And into the oven they go.
Okay.
Let's do it.
See you in 40 minutes. Our first 2 loaves are finished. I've never made something so beautiful in my entire life.
They look so good.
This is why it's so worth it. I'm going to go classic with my cut, but I'm going to go nice and deep. So we're going to score it.
Really rubbing it in that we didn't get deep enough, aren't you? But I'm going to go nice and deep, unlike these 2 jabrones.
You both did a great job. It's
We
your
just-
first time.
we
I'm
just-
like, you losers that
we
did not
don't-
go deep.
I feel like we just
Even though I
just
said
the first
go
time-
deeper.
you have to be kind of aggressive with the depth of shape
You
that you're
can't just.
putting into it.
can't just use the
Shame your
tip.
students, why don't you?
So it doesn't look pretty, right? I'm just
No,
like mutilating it.
It is not. But you know what?
But look how deep that is,
That is
right?
very deep. You can kind of see the
Yeah, you can tell
flowery
where it
thing.
was.
The other one didn't do much on the side, but okay, we got our last loaf.
Ideally, you want to let these sit for 2 hours. Let them totally cool down because they're still baking it. Like this one we just took out of the oven, it's still baking inside. So it's still gonna do its thing. And then everybody's like, but I really like fresh, warm bread. So if you really want that, you're gonna take it, you're gonna throw it back in the oven for like 15 minutes and it will warm it up like it's brand new.
Okay. I already cut mine, so.
We did already cut. Alicia was getting a little excited. So we took the olive oil we used for the
baking
garlic.
the cloves, yes.
And we took this garlic infused olive oil for this one. We have our jalapeno infused olive oil for this one. And then mine,
no oils for that one.
No oil.
Yeah, no oil.
Probably.
Look how cute our little raisins turned out. They look like little blueberries.
They puffed up a little bit. They look like little blueberries. And both of theirs have been sitting out for a little bit. I had to throw mine in after, so theirs have cooled.
Listen to that crunch.
Oh my gosh, it's so crunchy. Oh, just gonna dive into it.
Look at that. Oh
so
my
good.
God. Okay. Look at that stunning, beautiful. That is beautiful.
Yummy, yummy, yummy.
You did so good.
Thank you. So did you.
It's the best part of sourdough. They turn out and you're like, oh my goodness, this looks amazing.
Are you gonna wait?
It was
to
worth
cut yours?
it. No, let's do
No,
it.
let's do it.
Okay.
I'm gonna dive in.
Were you a left-handed cutter?
I am.
I didn't know that.
That sound.
Crunchy. Oh yes.
Ooh.
Smell that. Oh, the
It
steam coming out.
smells so good and it's warm. You can tell it's a little dense because we kind of brushed it a little bit.
We
and
brushed
then
the.
it flattened out, but it's still gonna be like yours.
Yeah.
Both of yours have cooled. They're so fluffy.
Okay,
So
let's.
try it.
Yes. Oh my God.
I'm just
I
gonna
can't
take
wait.
this piece right here. Cheers or whatever.
Yeah. Cheers.
Cheers.
Have to taste it without the oil first.
This tastes like a cinnamon roll, sourdough cinnamon roll. It's incredible. It's a little dense. It's so good.
It's so spicy.
That crunch.
That's amazing.
Oh, that is hot.
It's hot.
Rip a piece off.
Yeah. Get the outside. That's where all that.
I like it. I like it. I didn't think I would. I did not think I would like that one.
Ooh.
Ooh. They're spicy.
Spicy?
They're very spicy.
It was real hot. So we left the seeds in, which
On purpose, yeah. Yeah, it's spicy.
it's really hot.
I really like it.
It's really
though.
yummy though.
I really like it.
Okay, that was the best.
I'm gonna dip it in the
Oh
jalapeno.
my God.
With all that cheese in it.
Ugh. We did incredible. I am like blown away by A, how simple this was, and B, how delicious this was. I think too, like, you know, we tried to do it all in one day for filming. If you gave it an extra little
You
day
wouldn't
in
be
the
all
fridge,
worn out about
like,
it. You know.
well,
Little
you
more
know,
time cooling,
little
stuff
more
like
time
that.
cooling, like
We
it would
rushed
be
a
even
few
better.
pieces, yeah.
But the fact that we did it that way and it still turned out so
Amazing.
incredible.
Yeah.
I am like, I'm now a sourdough maker.
Been
girly.
converted.
Yeah. I'm gonna take my little starter home.
That sounds
and
fun.
I'm gonna be feeding her every Sunday. I cannot freaking wait. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next video.